right, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down how much money I made my very first year in real estate as a realtor. So some quick background on me. I'm 28 right now, and I was 26 when I first got into real estate, and I was actually a plumber for 9 years before I became a realtor. So I went from full 180, basically being digging in the dirt to becoming a pencil pusher. I spent a lot of time researching real estate investing, and I actually owned 3 properties before I ever got licensed as a realtor. So naturally, they say you attract your tribe, you attract people that are just like you, and because of that, most of my clients were investors. I live an hour just outside of Vancouver, BC, Canada, in a region called the Fraser Valley, and within that region, there's a bunch of suburban cities: Surrey, Langley, Abbotsford, Mission, whatever. And at that time, the aggregate home price in the Fraser Valley, aggregate is basically just condos, townhomes, everything combined to form one number, was around $1 million. My smallest sale was $300,000 and my biggest sale was $1.7 million. Now, realtor commissions are negotiable. There is no set standard, but the most common commission that I see out there is 7% on the first $100,000 and then 3% on the remainder. So $7,000 on the first $100,000 and then 3% on whatever the balance is of the house. And out of that total commission, the buying agent, so the agent on the buying end of that transaction, gets 3.22% on the first $100,000 and 1.15% on the remainder. Again, this can change from transaction to transaction. This is just the most common commission that I see in my market of the Fraser Valley. So if I break that down, on a $1 million home, the listing agent would get $3,780 on that first $100,000 and $16,650 on the remainder, for a total commission of $20,430. And on the buying end, the agent would get $3,220 on the first $100,000 and then $10,350 on the remaining balance, for a total of $13,570. Now, I know a lot of people will hear these numbers and think, I'll just go sell 3 homes part-time and sell my brother's friend's sister's mom's house and just do that 3 times a year and make $60,000. Well, unfortunately, it's really not that simple, and that's why basically 70% of realtors fail in that first year, and I think it's about 90% are out of the industry in 5 years or 3 years. I can't remember the exact statistic, but the failure rate is very high. So let me break down some expenses a realtor would have here in my market of the Fraser Valley. First off, you're going to have your brokerage fee. Now, if you're a realtor, you have to, by law, hang your license at a brokerage. You cannot conduct business without being employed at a brokerage. And this brokerage fee can range anywhere from like $200 a month to $1,200 a month. There's a bunch of different ways that each brokerage will chop it up. They all get their money out of you one way or another. It's hidden in different ways. They all get it out of you eventually. But, they could be either by way of a flat fee, a higher deal fee. It could be a split, like some brokers will charge like a 70-30 split, meaning they take 30% of your commission from every deal. And some will do a hybrid where it's a monthly rate and a lower split. They all get their money, but my brokerage charges me $500 a month. Now, you're going to have a board fee, at least I do. I don't know about the States and everywhere else, but I have a $150 a month board fee and then a $99 deal fee that happens on every single transaction. Now, these aren't the only expenses. If you're on the listing side, it's going to cost anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 just to list a home. And by the way, not every listing sells. So sometimes you put up that $2,000, the listing doesn't sell, and you just lose $2,000. But $2,000, $3,000 to list a home, that's going to be, photos, video, professional video, get the floor plans measured, flyers, brochures for the open house, and all those things kind of wrapped into that $2,000 to $3,000. Gas is also extremely expensive as a realtor because you're driving everywhere. I drive a pig, Ram F-150 that cost me like $1,200 a month just in gas. But obviously I don't have to drive a Ram. I should probably just go get a Tesla like everybody else. So if you were a solo agent, and I'll explain this in a little bit, but if you were a solo agent, you'd likely be netting about $17,000 on the listing side and the full $13,570 on the buying side. And then, of course, which everyone forgets about, realtors pay tax too. So it's not actually $17,000. Take away 35% for taxes right there. However, most new agents won't sell a home without a significant amount of help. And this is exactly why I recommend every new agent join a team to start. And that's the difference between being a solo agent and being on a team. If you go and join a team, you're basically giving up anywhere from 30 to 70% of your commission for financial support and mentorship. And what I mean by financial support, they'll set up all the systems and, pay the expenses to actually provide you leads so you have people to call to be able to get people to sell homes. But not only that, they'll also front you the marketing expenses to list these homes. And that was the route that I went in my first year. So I actually manage the team now, but in that first year, I joined the team. And, most people will pay $500 to $600 a month for a CRM, and then another $400 or $500 a month for leads. So $1,100 a month just to get leads. And then if you're a solo agent, you probably don't know how to call those leads or close those leads or do anything. So you're just setting money on fire. And this is exactly why I say you join a team, but it obviously has to be the right team because it's very easy to pick the wrong team. But in that first year, I was on a 50-50 split. I sold enough homes that I actually worked my way up to a 70-30 split on the buy side and a 50-50 split on the listing side. So if I sold this home on the listing side, I would have made about $10,000 before taxes and basically $67.50-ish on the buy side. Now, just so you guys know, there are way more expenses than the ones that I just mentioned to be a realtor. These are basically just the bare minimum expenses to be a realtor. I probably spend about $4,000 a month passively between software and editors and all these kinds of things. And that's pretty lean for a realtor. I know realtors spending 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 grand just to run their business every month. But these are basically the bare minimum expenses that you could expect to have if you were a realtor. So let's get into the meat and potatoes here. My first 4 months in the industry, from August 2021 to December of that year, I did anywhere from 17 to 19 deals. I didn't go through my records to actually see, but I remember it was about 17 to 19 deals, and the market was extremely hot at this point. It was so hot, it was a complete waste of time to go to open houses. So all these deals pretty much happened off market or on pre-construction homes, stuff that wasn't even built yet and completing in the next 4 months now in 2023, basically. Things were just selling $300,000-$400,000 over ask with no contingencies, and that's just not a place you want to be as a brand new agent. So I just kind of stayed away from open houses and anything on the resale market at that point, but managed to do very well with new construction and off-market properties at this point. And after my split, that ended up being about $100,000 basically in the first 4 or 5 months of being a realtor, which was pretty much an entire year's salary of being a plumber. So as you can imagine, I was pretty ecstatic about that because I had written down in my goals that I wanted to do 8 deals in my first year, and I basically, eclipsed that in, the first 4 or 5 months there. So, I thought if I could make $50,000, $60,000 my first year, that'd be awesome. And I ended up doing double that pretty much right off the hop. Now, going into Q1 2022, this is where my business absolutely exploded. Between Q1 and Q2 2022, I ended up selling around 30 homes. And then in Q3, I ended up selling roughly about another 10 homes. And then at the end of the year, what ended up happening was basically the market had pretty well crashed here in Vancouver and its surrounding areas, and it was the worst real estate market that we had basically ever seen in Canada. Nothing was getting listed and nothing was selling. I did no deals in Q4 2022, 0. But by the end of that first year, I guess it would be basically a year and a half at that point, up until Q3 2022, basically. Yeah, no, that's a full year. I would have done 57 deals in my first full year in real estate. So I ended that first year with roughly, I remember seeing the number, it was about $380,000 in commissions, and this was after my split, so I made a whole lot more than that, but this is what my take was. However, 2 of my transactions, and this is a long, stressful story that I'll save for another video, ended up not completing after they went firm. So the deal was already done and it never completed, and I had about $25,000 in commissions there that was unfortunately never paid out, so I ended up making around $350,000 by the end of that first year. So obviously I was pretty happy with that, and that is the exact reason why I'm starting this channel, is I want to teach you guys exactly how I was able to do that. And the way that I did do that was pretty much 100% off of social media, specifically TikTok. My TikTok blew up to the point where I literally became a local celebrity in my market. Everywhere I went, whether it was the gym, a restaurant, a pub, I don't drink, by the way, or any of these places, people recognize me everywhere I went because of my TikTok. And this is what I want to teach you guys on this channel, is how to do what I did. We just crossed over the halfway mark in 2023. The market isn't the best here. Just crossing over 30 deals for the year now. Once again, 100% off of social media. So if you guys want to learn how I'm doing this, subscribe to the channel, like this video if you like this video. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.